Looks really nice in here. It's been a while.
Right here? Okay.
All right, go another way, or you gotta wait?
Oh.
How's everyone doing today? On this beautiful day at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. All right, welcome to our 30th anniversary kickoff weekend. Thank you for being here today. Did everyone get that special button at the park entrance to commemorate today's event? Yeah, if you didn't grab one, we do have a special collectible button available for you, so grab that if you didn't get one already.
Mine's right here.
It looks great. Awesome.
Put it in my jacket pocket.
Don't lose that thing, it's collectible.
I know.
All right. So welcome to our town hall. This is the event where our park president, Mr. Jeffrey Siebert, is going to share a little bit about everything we got going on for the whole year, including a little bit more information about Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger. And all the great things going on at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas for our 30th anniversary year, which officially has already kicked off. So, how many of you were there for New Year's Eve fireworks? Yeah, what a great way to get it started, huh? Right? Without further ado, here's our park president, Mr. Jeffrey Siebert.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rosini. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. Well, happy 30th anniversary to everybody. You guys doing good? Yeah. Well, thank you for coming out and braving the San Antonio winter weather this morning. With continues to be drizzly out there. So we know the good news is living in San Antonio, the sunshine will return and bigger and brighter days are ahead. Hopefully your family, friends, and you guys are all doing well. Stay healthy. No doubt 2022 is going to be an epic year for Fiesta, Texas. Are you guys excited for our 30th anniversary? Yeah! It is absolutely going to be epic. Let's see if I'm standing close enough. Maybe. Oh, look at that. As you know, as Chris said, we are locked and loaded with a whole variety of events, including just kind of kickstarting today, our big New Year's Eve fireworks, which was spectacular. Hopefully you also feel that it was the largest fireworks show that you have seen, and it was no doubt one for the record books. But that's just the beginning of our 30th anniversary season. There's all kinds of stuff that you see on the screen that is coming. It's hard to believe that next week, Mardi Gras begins. Who's going to be coming to Mardi Gras? And of course, Mardi Gras is not only synonymous for all the great food that we serve, that we're looking forward to returning, but the big parade comes back with new floats, bigger and larger than ever before. And of course, last year we introduced the House of Voodoo. How many of you went through the House of Voodoo last year? Well, it is coming back again this year to entertain our guests, along with great award-winning entertainment that we are known for. So it's a great way to really put us back into high gear and start the festival season at Fiesta, Texas with Mardi Gras. Then after that, normally there's a pause in the event schedule, but not this year because we are celebrating our 30th anniversary. And the 30th anniversary event, I'm sure many of you heard, will feature an original version of Rockin' at Rockville High School, which should be absolutely fantastic to see it again return in the Rockville Theater. Plus, it will also have a fireworks show component to it, which it'll be a retooling of our Celebrate show that we had several years ago, and it will be retooled for our 30th anniversary, which will be fantastic to have fireworks during that. And then, of course, that goes into all the other great events that you see there. If you did not attend Roller Coaster Rodeo last year, the inaugural year, oh my gosh, go online, buy your tickets. How many actually attended last year's event? Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Did you enjoy the event? Oh, yeah. It is fantastic. So if you want to be among the first to ride Cliffhanger, go to Roller Coaster Rodeo. If you want to be among the first to ride it 9 billion times during ERT, buy your tickets to Roller Coaster Rodeo. If you ever want to have a theme park with every ride open to yourself, because we keep every ride open for exclusive ride time after the park closes during Roller Coaster Rodeo, buy your tickets for Roller Coaster Rodeo. It is an event that you do not want to miss and will really help us inaugurate all the excitement and thrills of Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. And of course, you can see the all other events that we love throughout the year. Fright Fest, Holiday in the Park. No doubt this year is going to be very, very special as we go from event to event to event, because we obviously love our guests. Our guests love these events, and we're so excited to continue to offer them in really big and meaningful ways, better than ever. And no doubt, as we get towards Fright Fest and Hot in the Park, we've got lots of 30th anniversary surprises as well, along with 4th of July. Again, I know many of you said you saw our New Year's Eve show. You may or may not see something even more spectacular during 4th of July.
What?
Just saying. May or may not. And anyone that has known me for any amount of time, even 3 minutes, or anyone that has known me for 30 years knows we love to blow things up. And we love our fireworks at Fiesta, Texas. So you may want to circle July 4th on your calendar now, because it will be truly awe-dropping, spectacular, and amazing. But with that said, that's just part of what's going on. There are so many other improvements. I mean, you guys are our most loyal guests. You walk around the park more than I even do, so you've seen changes, transformation, painting, scrubbing, improvements going on from corner to corner, front to back. You name it, we've been painting and preparing for our 30th anniversary, and there's still so much more that is yet to come. One of the big things you may have seen in the news is we have a new CEO, Salim Bazoul, and Salim has a fantastic food background. And one of his challenges to the parks, which we absolutely love, is to do better, more exciting food options. So you don't have to say that twice to any of us in San Antonio. So you're going to be seeing lots of great food projects that are coming forth. One of them, as you know, we have blown up Sangerfest Hall. If you have peeked through those windows, you will see that it is scrubbed down to nothing. And it is going to be so much better. The main things are, one, the kitchen is going to be 3 times its size. We'll be able to prepare better food, higher quality food, warmer food, faster food, more food variety. And also the dining hall is being redone to offer more than double the seating capacity than what used to be in there. Just to make sure everyone's got a nice, convenient, comfortable place to seat. And the environment will look really, really cool and fun. And you're going to see lots of new food initiatives all through the park. But that is, of course, the huge signature addition. Then there's our water park. Our water park is loved by our guests, and we're excited to add more cabanas. So for folks that do want to get their own private space, we actually pioneered for Six Flags, added 2-story cabanas. We're actually adding many more of those throughout the entire area. So this way we can have more cabanas, more places to rest, more shade, and you're going to continue to see more water park improvements as well. But those are just some of the physical things that we're doing around the park as we prepare for Cliffhanger, better food, more exciting festivals, bigger fireworks. I mean, who doesn't want all of those things? Hopefully that all sounds great to you guys. But of course, the real excitement is merchandise. Because this is how we pay for all the big new rides. Hopefully you've been across the street or you've been to the Iron Rattler gift shop. Has anyone already purchased Cliffhanger merchandise? A few of you guys. So across the street to Mercado, we do have 30th anniversary merchandise. We also have a collection of Dr. Diabolical retail that has already come out. My favorite is the Trust Me, I'm a Doctor lineup. I think that's just hysterical and funny. But there's a whole variety of hoodies and sweatshirts that have already come out for the ride and attraction, and you're going to see all kinds of retail items that will be available for our Cliffhanger attraction. As you know, we have selected the world's premier manufacturer, B&M, to help us bring this new exciting attraction to life. And why, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit to talk through why we've done what we've done. One is that when it comes to the name of the attraction, you can see we tested 40 different names. And guess who picked the name? You guys. How many of you were actually in our research panels? About a third of you. If you ever want to see and be part of the secret inside club of what is going on at Six Flags, at the bottom of our website, you'll see there's a place to sign up to become part of our research panel. And we ask tens of thousands of guests, different research topics like this that you see. We do more research in a year than many years combined. So you'll see we actually tested 40 different names, and by far the 2 top names were Diabolical Drop and Cliffhanger, so we just combined them to make one really cool name. And you can see across the board all the different categories that we tested, and by far those 2 names came up to be number 1. So that's why it's Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. But it's always fun to look at the bottom of the list. Like, what was the name? You go, oh my gosh, that name is awful. So, we could guess all day what the worst name is, but I will just reveal the worst name, according to you and all of our guests, is... Look, it's so suspenseful. Hell Horse. Not only was it the bottom, but again, it had a negativity rating of 21%. But I guess, like I said, that is the worst name we have ever heard. Which I don't think anyone in this room would necessarily disagree with. What an awful name for a coaster. But the other cool thing that we're doing is we're paying tribute to our beloved beginnings of a company more than 60 years ago. The ride that you see on the right, does anyone recognize that ride? Shout it out. It was the Texas Cliffhanger at Six Flags Over Texas. It was the world's first free fall drop ride. So in some ways, we're paying tribute to the beginnings of that kind of innovation and using it as part of our namesake. Throughout the queue, you'll also see Easter eggs. You'll actually see maybe a photo that looks just like that hanging on a wall somewhere as an Easter egg, paying tribute to what our company's beginning of those thrilling adventures. So why not on the court wall? Which is a question that we get quite often. Why the heck did you not build this on the court wall? Well, there's a variety of reasons. One is, we've got a whole bunch of coasters that are already riding on the court wall, so it wouldn't be the first. The other thing is that we wanted a ride that completely intimidates you. If you've been on our other coasters, the vast majority of our coasters, you have the line, you have the station, and then the ride is somewhat set back from you. With Cliffhanger, that you'll see, the ride is completely wrapped around you. You are standing in the middle of the ride with both of those big drops dropping left and right of you over and over again while you're waiting outside. So you're gonna have to watch these folks just screaming over and over again before you ever get on the ride, which makes it different than the rest of our fleet. The other thing also is, as you know, we are somewhat in a giant bathtub. There's only so much space. So one of the reasons that we put it where we put it is this way it still frees up much larger pieces of real estate that also utilize the quarry wall for future expansion and future opportunities. Dun, dun, dun! So, and it truly maximizes that space. As you'll see as we go through the renderings, Cliffhanger truly fits that entire footprint, which is what we try to do. If you've looked at for example, Joker, the Joker is the largest ride we could put in space. No larger ride fits in that footprint because of the buildings, because of the train tracks. That is the largest ride we could put there. We did the same exact thing with Daredevil Dive. Daredevil Dive is the largest ride we could put there. Believe it or not, it's actually a larger circumference and radius than the ride that was originally there that it replaced. So as we're looking at footprints in space, we're making sure that our rides take up the maximum and there's no wasted real estate with that. And like I said, what will the future hold beyond that? Dun, dun, dun. So looking at just the original designs, when we began the process with B&M and our corporate engineering team and our corporate design team, this was the first layout, which has a great drop, an Emmelman, some twisted track, and then it turns back into the station. And our client's feedback was to make it bigger. Here's just another angle of that option. So then we came up with option 2. And again, it has a little bit more track, more features. Here's another great look of option 2. But as you can imagine, we said, hey, you know what? I think we can
Make it bigger.
So that led us to this version, which looks very, very similar to where we ended with option number 3, which is now known as Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. But even with this version, we juiced it up. We created beyond a 90-degree drop for the first time on any B&M coaster anywhere in the world, and any dive coaster on planet Earth. We asked that we go 95 degrees beyond vertical. You guys excited about going beyond vertical? The cool thing, if you have not ridden a dive coaster, is that when you get to the top, we call it a special feature. And who knows what that special feature is when you get to the top? Just shout it out. We actually stop you while you're going down the drop. So imagine you begin cresting the top of the hill and you start dropping down that first drop. We stop you. You're looking straight down, or in this case beyond the 95 degrees at the bottom of the drop before it releases you, and it all goes crazy after that. In our case, a giant Emmelman, which is a cool inversion style, a zero-G barrel roll, a wicked high-speed turn into the brake run, and then you can see the mid-course brake is designed to give you another section of completely getting you out of your seat through weightlessness and dropping you deep down back onto the quarry with that big drop. And then we've got a really fun finale. A wicked bank turn, we've got an extreme airtime hill, followed by a really fun high-speed helix finale. And the way that the ride is paced out, believe it or not, is that the forces and dynamics get stronger and more exciting the further you go into the ride experience. So the biggest forces, believe it or not, are in that final turn. The biggest sections of weightlessness are actually at the extreme airtime hill. So the ride continues to intensify as it goes on through its journey. We are going to be running 3 trains, 3 ride vehicles. They're gold and red. We actually purchased a 4th train, so this way the ride can always run at maximum capacity. As you've seen over the years, we do need to take roller coaster units off for our annual maintenance. So on occasion, Iron Rattler will go down to 1 train. You'll see that you'll come to Boomerang doesn't have a train on it while it's being rehabbed. So this will allow us to run 3 trains year-round, non-stop, around the clock, which should be really exciting. The other thing that we've also announced is that the Iron Rattler, which is by far our most popular attraction to date, we did order a 3rd ride vehicle, a 3rd train for the Iron Rattler that arrives this October. This way that ride, beginning in October, will also always have a 2-train operation. It'll always be running at max capacity because, again, 1 train operation makes us very sad. So, trying to keep the lines moving fast and keeping everyone happy and more rides makes us all, that's why we're here. The name above the door, Six Flags, is synonymous with big and exciting thrills. So looking at the ride in a little bit more detail, here's a little bit more of the drop. Being the world's steepest B&M at 95 degrees, it gives you an idea of how steep and crazy that drop is, that it actually turns in on itself. I talked about the giant element and where it is positioned when you cross the train tracks going into our western area, Crack Axle Canyon. You know where Roadrunner Express is to the left, immediately to the right, or I should say to the left, where Totally Kickin' Chicken was, is where the inversion is. So when you cross the train tracks, this inversion is going to be right there in front of you, looping over and over again as you're going to that area. So again, completely changing the way that our Crack Axle area looks, and it gives you a little bit of an idea there where the queue is between all that madness. So you're truly watching this ride just roar past you over and over and over again. Looking at some other features of the layout is the zero-G barrel roll. If you're a fan of the Iron Rattler, we actually modeled the zero-G barrel roll in a bigger fashion to what the Iron Rattler is, so it should be a really fun, floating, exciting sensation. And then after the zero-G barrel roll, you can see on the backside, the ride pulls way down, so you get lots of force, lots of speed, and lots of excitement. That's where it's coming out of the zero-G barrel roll before you get to the mid-course section of the ride. Gives you a little bit better look of the finale after you go through the mid-course section of the extreme airtime hill, the turns, and the high-speed spiral at the end. Looking at some of those elements up close, the high-speed spiral at the end is really going to be a fun finale piece. You can just see how tight that is and how wicked it is. The airtime hill really is guaranteed to make sure that you're getting out of your seat and having some fun moments of weightlessness as you crest the top of the hill before finishing the ride. One of the last features that we also did, that we wanted to do, and there's just another view of the airtime hill, is where I have a yellow circle. We wanted to make sure that even after the final high-speed helix, that there's another point of weightlessness on the ride. So before you get into the final brake run, the train is actually going to pop up, and you're going to have another moment of weightlessness before you get into the actual station itself. And that gives you also a pretty good view of what the station will look like when it's all set and complete. The theming of the ride will continue with the steampunk overall look and feel. And it will feature, as I said, 4 trains. We have 7 seats, which makes it the widest of the configuration that B&M currently makes. And folks say, well, why the heck 7? Why'd you buy 7? Because most of all the other versions of this on planet Earth of this size run 6. Well, being the theme park nut that I am, along with many of you guys, almost no place on planet Earth can you ride a coaster truly in the center of the track. We have Wonder Woman, which is one of the very few coasters that you actually ride in the center of the rail. Now we've got a second one. And it's the only B&M ever built that truly has a middle seat. So you can actually ride in the true middle of the ride. You think about all the other coasters on planet Earth, you're cheated left or you're cheated right. This gives you another different ride option. No doubt for folks that have been on these types of experiences, the best seats are the ones at the end. The seats on either side of the ride definitely give you the most exciting dynamics. The back performs different than the front, so there's lots of fun options. But just as another fun option, now we get to actually experience to see what it's like in the true center of it. The other cool feature is it's the widest train available. When you think of how roller coasters look, how cool is it that this thing is just really wide? It just makes it look so different from every other coaster that you've seen and most coasters on planet Earth because it's 7 seats across. It just looks so visually different and strange. Gives you a view of what our two trains will look like. The trains are also redesigned so they can articulate in on themselves to navigate those real tight spiral curves. Again, like I said, we'll have 2 of the reddish color, 2 of the gold color, and we'll be alternating. So there'll be times a year that you see 2 red and 1 gold. There'll be times of the year that you see 2 gold and 1 red. But no doubt they will give you the same exciting ride experience. And then there's the queue. Who likes queues? Hopefully you've enjoyed the more thematic queues that we've been adding over the years. Pirates of the Deep Sea, the Joker, Daredevil Dive, what we've done to Bugs, some of the enhancements we've done to Poltergeist. Hopefully you guys have liked those improvements. Have you liked those improvements that we've been making?
Yeah.
Hopefully it makes the ride just more exciting and fun. And as you can see here, we've got a large outdoor queue, but then there's this building. For those that know the park well, this is the back of the stage at Sundance Theater, and you can clearly see that the queue goes in the building, and the queue comes out of the building. So what the heck happens in the building? Dun, dun, dun. Anyone want a peek of what's in the building? Yeah. Come back tomorrow. No, just let's see if I put that slide in. Did I put a slide in? Oh, look. There's a mysterious corridor. And where does the mysterious corridor go? Outside. It could, but it goes to this mysterious door. Where does the mysterious door go to?
Inside.
Oh, you'll have to wait. But I can tell you, you will love it. You will have fun. It'll be an immersive, fun experience, unlike anything that we've done before, and happen to lead into a ginormous ride that we haven't seen or built to scale of this in over 20 years. So thank you. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more of the insights of what is going on. I'll gladly hang around to ask questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Mr. Chris has a microphone. But hopefully it gives you a little bit more of an insight. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
I love the ride, it looks great, but my inner Karen wants to express something.
My inner
The way
Karen.
that wraps around Lil's, the Lil stage won't be usable while it's running, will it?
No, it will. Yes, the ride is relatively quiet, and the way we've positioned it is that it won't interfere with Lil's operations. So we will have Monster Mash Bash, and that ride will be roaring. And that's why we positioned it with the lift hill side, and the lift hill is relatively quiet. Yeah. It won't be any more impedance than what, it should be quieter than what Boomerang does. So we made sure all the noise is on the backside to keep it where Lil's can perform and do its magic like we always have loved. Thank you, Karen.
I feel like it's gonna look like the tallest ride, and it's gonna be like the ride that goes down faster. I'm just wondering why it will look like that.
You're curious why it looks the way that it looks? Yes, we wanted to make it intimidating. We wanted to make it where it looks scary. Not only should it be tall, fast, but we wanted to make it where you're like, I don't know if I really want to do this. Because you are going to be standing right at the bottom and looking directly up 150 feet. The ride entrance is actually underneath the lift hill structure. So you will be surrounded by columns and steel and the ride noises while you're waiting in line. Thank you.
So, when it turns on itself, is it like where our railroad turns
I'll say that.
The thingamajiggy.
Has definitely more speed at the top than what Ironbreaker does when it does its maneuverability towards the top of the quarry wall. It'll definitely maintain its speed and force.
Oh, okay.
After this ride, will Six Flags continue their relationship with B&M?
You never know what the future will hold. You never know. We do love our friends at B&M. They've been great partners.
Trying to get in there. Here we go. Hey Jeffrey, is this gonna have lots of air conditioning in this walkthrough area?
Well, as you know, one of the reasons to put a portion of the queue in a building is so we can blast everyone with cold air. So the answer is definitively yes. It is air. We got to keep everyone cool on these hot summer days.
Do you know what the phrase Fountain of Youth has to do with any of this?
Oh, maybe we do. That's a great question. Well, for those of you that attended the ACE event, you'll notice that one of the minions of Dr. Diabolical actually came to that event and gave everyone a sample of the Fountain of Youth elixir. And there's no doubt one of the things we love about Dr. Diabolical, and you saw in the retail aspect of it, is she's definitely promising everyone samples of Fountain of Youth. But is that really her intentions? Is there really a Fountain of Youth? Only time will tell. And luckily for us, we don't have to wait much longer, because summer 2022, all answers will be revealed. But you'll have to wait to see what actually happens with the Fountain of Youth magical elixir. Thank you, that's a great question.
Dun dun dun. Dun, dun,
The
dun,
opening
dun.
of Cliffhanger, does that mean that the entire Crack Axle Canyon area will be turned into a steampunk area?
It's being transitioned. Yes, we've been continually layering in more and more steampunk theming, and you will see that continue as that ride opens. The entire area won't be 100% steampunked by the ride's opening, but there are other plans to continue to do that and layer that theming. If you've gone to our western train station the past few weeks, you'll notice that some of those steampunk elements have now actually been brought inside of that train station. You'll notice there's now exhibition posters and some other things inside there that have been enhanced to slowly bring the entire area into this fun science fiction and western steampunk environment.
Will the seating have like the extended sizing for like plus size people or bigger people like some of the other roller coasters in the park?
Yes, we'll have 2 additionally accommodated seats, one in row 2 and an additional seat in row 3. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions? Over here? Over there?
I have the mom question.
Hey, Mom.
We went to Cedar Point last year,
Oh, we love Cedar Point, so did I.
and about a month after we got back here, there was the news of the roller coaster that he was on when we were there, Top Thrill Dragster, where the queue for the wait went under the coaster, and then a piece came off the coaster and hit the lady in the head. So is there going to be safety barriers between the people waiting in line and the coaster?
Well, I can't speak specifically for what happened at Cedar Point, since obviously I'm not familiar with all their details. That's a launch coaster by design, so it's completely different dynamics than what we're talking about here. That ride has unique moving parts. It has a cable launch system that grabs that train and launches it to 120 miles an hour, where this ride has none of that type of mechanism next to anybody. So there's no mechanicals that are near any person that's waiting in line. Hopefully that answers your question. And of course, we keep everything back to meet safety clearances, envelopes, protective barriers, those types of things, just to make sure when the train is approaching, that again, there's physical barriers between you and them. So, but again, mechanically, unlike what you saw at Cedar Point, there's nothing mechanically that is going to be by you at all. It was mine as well. I grew up in Cleveland. Yeah, so I go every year still. Take the whole fam.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
On the footers that have been poured there near the Crackers Canyon path, I've seen that like where the supports are going to attach, it's been hollowed out underneath, like in the part of the footer. What's the purpose for that?
I'll have to go look, Michael, to see where you're looking. So you're saying there's some footers and foundations that have been hollowed out underneath?
Well, like the footer itself has a hollow area.
Oh, in the center of it. Yes, the way that B&M designed some of their support structures, most of them sit on top and are bolted. There are some based on the dynamics that have a piece of steel actually lays down into that preformed hole and then is also bolted or welded in addition to that. So you'll actually see a piece of steel will be inserted in there, kind of like a puzzle piece. Thank you, Michael.
I've noticed that about 2 years ago, y'all brought back the thematic music for Spotsburg area to German polka music playing over there. Are there any plans to bring regional Mexican music into Los Festivales?
Yes, there is. As you know, one of the things that we have done is we have an ongoing mariachi program that pretty much spans the entire year. And we will also be redoing the BGM. You may have heard, we just spent a reinvestment, a significant amount of money redoing the entire Los Festivales audio system. It's only been on for 3 weeks. That's how new the audio system is. So hopefully, one, you can hear audio. And our entertainment team is redoing the audio of the park to make it more thematic into the area as well. It won't be exclusively, but it will be mixed in as well.
I know y'all have the Flash Pass options for members and pass holders. Has there been consideration for a single rider line for these rides?
We have, and we continue to evaluate that. This ride will not open with a single rider line based on our previous experimentations, but we continually evaluate that. What you're actually going to notice is that we're offering a single Flash Pass option, where if you want to ride that ride, you could just buy a single Flash Pass for that. We do offer that, I want to say 5 attractions now. That will be expanded to more attractions. You'll also see, when you leave the ride, a ride again option that will actually be a little bit cheaper if you wanted to ride it again and be able to skip the line after you actually rode it. So there's going to be a variety of different ways of doing it, but not a single rider line for free currently.
A few years ago, we were talking about making the balcony here into like a diamond seating or member seating. Is that still going on, or has that been done?
Well, sadly, Chris made it his own viewing area. So he's moved his office up there, he's watching all the shows. But no, we are, one of our plans is to reignite the balcony that's actually behind you. Believe it or not, there's actually a second floor in this building that has a VIP level that was originally built with the park. We have not done it yet, but it is somewhere, for gosh sakes, we hope to ignite that again sometime soon. It's been a slowly working in progress, but it has not come to the finish line as of yet. But as you know, with all things we do, once it is complete, we'll announce it loud and proud and make sure that those members and folks do have the opportunity to reserve seating. Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Any insight on the new food items and continuing with some German items at Steampunk?
Well, you're going to have to wait for the full menu. And the reason I say that is because I don't know the full menu. One of the great things that we have just done is we have hired an executive chef. And I kid you not, this is like brand new within a week. And he's actually coming to the park next week to begin helping us redo our menu development and creating new menus throughout the park. And we could not be more ecstatic and exciting. When he came on board, I didn't want to bother him, but I started sending him emails right away and saying, hey, we'd love to have you first. When can you come out? And he's actually coming out this week with our new kitchen designer to really help us elevate our entire food experience. So we are thrilled and excited about that. Yeah. Believe it or not, one of the first things we started talking about was German food because of the Sanger Fest Hall project. So, other questions?
What are you gonna do with the old radio station?
Oh, that man can answer that.
Oh, yes. So if you walk by today, you'll notice that we are starting to add some mini museums throughout the park for our 30th anniversary. So the old radio station, if you look in those windows, we're starting to set up displays. There's an old old Rattler nose in there, which is really cool. Lots of great stuff from back in the beginning when the park first opened. So we're making mini museums out of those this year. You'll see them throughout the park in a lot of store windows. One more question?
I don't know if this question was posed or mentioned. Is the Dr. Diabolical cliffhanger going to be a taller drop than the Iron Rattler?
It is actually our third tallest drop in the park. Iron Rattler will remain the king at almost 190 feet. Slightly behind that will be Superman, which is about 164 feet. And this comes in at over 150 feet. It is steeper than all of them. The drop is significantly more exciting and feverish since the fact you're being stopped and looking straight at the ground. But it is not taller than those attractions. It is going to look taller because you are standing right at the bottom of the drop where you don't have that luxury at those other two rides.
All right, we're going to do one final question here, and then Jeffrey will be around for quick questions at the end as well.
When is the time frame for the dining hall and all those new food items to be brought in?
It is still to be determined based on construction. So it will be sometime, hopefully this summer, that everything will be finished, done, and complete for the project. And then we'll continue layering our festivals like you know that we do, with it has its own unique, distinctive food, and then layering in other restaurants as well, including what we're doing at Primo's, which is offering more of an Italian menu in our Primo's Pizzeria. It's a great question. Food is yummy, because food equals love. Does it not?
No.
Food equals love.
No, food equals no starving.
Well, that would be very factually accurate. Other than that, have a fantastic day. Go big, go Six Flags, and happy 30th anniversary to everybody. See you guys around the park. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Mr. Jeffrey Siebert, our park president. Thank you all.
Yeah,